And we learned just this hour that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has written to Judge Juan Merchan. He says that he is not opposed to postponing President Trump's sentencing in his New York criminal trial and conviction. Right now, that is still set for next Thursday, July 11th. Leo Terrell, attorney and Fox News contributor, is here. Leo, what do you make of all of this?
What I make of all of this is simply this. The Supreme Court got it right. And it's a great day for the rule of law. And we're turning away from being a banana republic. Dagan, let me be as clear as possible. This wasn't a ruling just for Trump. You correctly stated it. It's a ruling to protect the office of the presidency from weaponization by the judicial system and by others who want to go after a former president. Let me be very clear. This ruling today, this decision by Alvin Bragg, is because he recognized the fact that some of the evidence in that fake New York hush money case was inadmissible. There were official acts. And if I was Alvin Bragg and Jack Smith, I would throw in the towel. These cases are dead. They were motivated simply because they do not want President Trump on the ballot.
One interesting thing is and you keep hearing this over and over again from the left, the president is now a king. And this was in Judge Sonia Sotomayor's dissent, I believe. But what about the checks and balances against the president? And the Wall Street Journal editorial board writes about this. How about Congress and the judiciary? They still exist. The impeachment power still exists. Elections are the ultimate check on abusive presidents, the Wall Street Journal writes. And how could they be shocked about this decision in the first place? The Supreme Court just followed up on the 1982 opinion, Nixon v. Fitzgerald, which dealt with civil suits.
You're absolutely right. 35 years of being a civil rights lawyer. Let me be as clear as possible. The Supreme Court just simply followed the rules and regulations of the Constitution. You just laid out all the options available to the American people. Impeachment. You have impeachment there. You have the rule of law and to vote out a candidate or a candidate who's running for office. Every avenue is available. And I want to be clear. Biden's corrupt open border policy is protected under this rule of law. And so what you have sour grapes on the part of the Democrats, Dagan. They're mad. Why? Because they want to take President Trump off the ballot. I'm old enough to remember the Colorado Supreme Court wanted to take him off the ballot. Thank goodness for the Supreme Court. Thank goodness that the Supreme Court is above the fray of politics. And we have to make sure that the rule of law applies. The Democrats aren't done. They're going to try everything possible to try to prevent us, the American people, from voting for President Trump.
Well, one progressive congresswoman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, wants to drag the high court down into the political muck. She says that she's planning to file articles of impeachment following the Supreme Court ruling. She posted on X, quote, "The Supreme Court has become consumed by a corruption crisis beyond its control. Today's ruling represents an assault on American democracy. It is up to Congress to defend our nation from this authoritarian capture. I intend on filing articles of impeachment upon our return." The House is in recess until July 8th. If she files, they would likely go to the GOP-led House Judiciary Committee for review. Articles against whom? Bless her heart.
I think she's trying to threaten the Supreme Court justices. That article proposal will go nowhere. You know what AOC is upset with? AOC is upset with people like myself and over 50% of this country who want to vote for President Trump. That's why she's mad. You're talking about democracies at issue? The Democrats do not want the American people to vote for President Trump. And the Supreme Court said, no, that's not going to happen. The American people will have the opportunity to vote and elect President Trump as our next president in November of 2024. And what they're also trying to do, Dagan, is deflect from an incompetent, cognitively declined president who cannot articulate a thought. I challenge President Biden and the Democrats for him to appear before the American public without cue cards, without a teleprompter, and stand and answer questions for an hour. He can't do it.
Before we go, Do you think that Judge Merchan will delay the sentencing next week?
Oh, yes. He has to, because you have newly acquired information and law. He has to consider it. If he doesn't, he will become a laughingstock. He has an obligation. So Bragg's acknowledgement that he has no opposition, I want to be very clear to the Fox viewers. That sentencing will be delayed, and there will be a hearing on whether or not this motion should be set aside. Big victory for President Trump.
Leah Terrell, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you for being here.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.